Hi, I'm Brian Taylor with Hose and Rubber Supply. Today we're going to be talking about DOT hose and fittings. This is important because a lot of our customers are hauling crude and all kinds of different things with tractor trailer units where they have to have Department of Transportation approved fittings and hose on their vehicles. So if they get pulled over, they're using the correct material. We want to make sure we're selling them the product that doesn't get them in trouble and keeps them safe on our highways. So one of the most common things that people probably see and recognize is you see on all the tractor trailers the red coiled hoses on the back of the truck. There's red and blue. The red system, the air system on a truck, is for the emergency brakes. If something goes wrong, then it stops the truck so that we don't have a whole bunch of product getting crashing into somebody. And the blue side is the service side, which runs all their brakes and all the other pneumatic systems on their truck. So these are obviously marked so that they're the blue and red. And then there is just a non-marked one. We just call it a plain universal glad hand. These are called glad hands. And they actually connect together, just slide together and quick couple together. So it's very common. It's on every truck that's out there. And then these are the gaskets that go inside. They actually do make a polyurethane blue and red one to make sure you don't hook up the wrong side. And these polyurethane gaskets last a lot longer as well. So one of the hoses that they use is what they call rubber air brake hose, and this is a DOT approved assembly, so it's stamped on it that it's DOT approved. So when a truck is inspected, that they make sure all the lines on it are DOT approved lines. This is a very unique fitting to the brake system on a tractor. It has a very unique thread pattern. You won't see it pretty much anywhere else but on a truck. You can change that out to a standard SAE thread and it still is DOT approved, but that's kind of what the industry started out with. One of the nice things with the product that Hose and Rubber carries is a hose made by Gates that's called MT500 and MT5000, which is a cotton covered wire braid hose that's rated at 500 and 1000 psi. But when you use the Gates Mega Crimp fitting on that and crimp it, it's now a DOT approved assembly, which means you as a customer could get a crimper and make your own DOT approved assemblies. And they're much more durable than the standard rubber air brake line. So that's something that the other caveat to this hose is that you can use it for tranny cooler, oil cooler lines, even power steering hose. So it gives you a lot of application where you can use this product to do most any flexible line on your tractor. These are fill detachable or reusable fittings that go on the rubber air brake hose. So there's a nut with a spring, and there's the nut also without the spring that slides onto the hose, and then this castle ferrule compresses onto the hose and seals it. So you have the fill detachable where you can repair a line with if you're stranded out in the middle far away from somewhere. Back in several years ago, usually guys that drove the trucks had 25 feet of hose and fill detachable ends so they could repair their own lines. In today's world, something goes wrong with your truck, you just call a tow truck and they come pick you up and take you into the shop and get you fixed up. But there's a lot of tubing as well on trucks, and it's all stamped that it's DOT approved. So got that it's DOT, and you can see as you look at that hose that there's a little bit of a braid inside of it, so it's just heavier duty than just tubing. It's got reinforcement in it as well. And then these fittings, these DOT fittings, are push to connect fittings, which you can just push in and pull back on, and that locks the tubing into the fitting. And then if you just pull the fitting in, you can release it and reuse that fitting. And so you have all kinds of fittings to male pipe thread, female pipe thread, tees, and splices. So it's okay to splice a hose. If it gets a hole in it, you can cut the hose and hook it back together with a DOT approved connection and keep your truck running. And then they also do still make a standard compression fitting, which is a nut and a ferrule that goes on the tubing, and then you can compress that onto the, and that still is a DOT approved. DOT is stamped on the fitting as well as it is the push to connect fitting. They make this tubing from 5/32, so really tiny stuff, all the way up to 3/4 inches, the biggest. This is 1/2 inch here, so there's 3/8, 1/4 inch, and 1/2 inch. And there are hundreds of feet of tubing on each tractor trailer that's out there. So one of the things we do at Hose and Rubber Supply is try and carry a full line of all the DOT approved fittings and tubing and glad hands, and we carry actually the air brake coils, the red and blue coils. So we try and carry all of the products that you would need if something went wrong on your truck and you need to repair anything, or we can help you put a kit together to be able to repair any of the lines on your truck as you're traveling as well. Thank you.